All right, we are back with some more heat mat experiments, this time using ruby red Swiss chard. So stay tuned for the results. Okay, so let's quickly talk about what is going on with this test. So all 4 of these trays have been seeded with 25 grams of ruby red Swiss chard microgreens for each tray. We got our seeds from True Leaf Market, and we will have a link to that down in the description below. These are all going to be using the same exact grow medium, which is coco coir, which is a medium that has no nutrients in it. And it just acts to really help get these seed holes off, because the seed holes on Swiss chard are really hard to shed, and having a soil-like medium really helps. Okay, and the last thing that is the same is all of these have the exact same tray setup. The only difference is there are 2 different sets of colors. So the green trays over here, these are going to be the trays that receive no heat whatsoever, and then the pink trays right here are going to be on our heat mat. Alright, so before we get these put on the shelves, let's quickly talk about the heat mat and what's going on down here. So Mandy, if you'd come in closer. Okay, so let's talk about our heat mat. So the heat mat is from a company called Vivo Sun, and this is their 48 by 20 inch long one. It is one that covers our entire shelf. It is controlled by their thermostat right here, which we currently have ours set to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a little bit lower right now because there's no trays right here to kind of hold that temperature at the 78 degrees Fahrenheit state. So the shelf below it is going to be the shelf that has no heat mat on it, and it's going to be just germinating in the ambient room temperature, which is around 70 to 73 degrees Fahrenheit. The reason that we chose to have the tray below it with the non-heat is because the heat will rise from this heat mat, and it would affect the germination if we were to put the trays above it. So that is why the non-heat mat trays are going below the heat mat itself. So let's go ahead and get these trays put onto the shelf real quick. All right, so the pink trays, again, are going to be the ones that go on the heat mat, and then the green trays are just below that. So let's get some trays put on top here. All right, so now I have the trays set on their shelves in their designated spots. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll see if there's any difference in the germination. All right, so we are on day 1 of this germination trial for Swiss chard. So let me get all of these trays removed, and then I'll see you in just a second. So I am not seeing any signs yet of germination, though I do see that the soil is kind of doing a little bit of ripples all throughout, but I'm not actually seeing any cotyledons or radicals or anything kind of pushing through at this point. So that makes sense. This is really early in the growth. This is only day 1. We're most likely going to see a lot more results tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some water added to these, put the trays back on top, get these pink trays back on their heat mat, and get the green trays below it on their shelf, and we will see how everything looks tomorrow. All right, so we're on day 2 of this heat mat test for the Swiss chard. So let's get the lids pulled off, and there's a lot of moisture on these ones at the heat mat. And let's take a look at our growth here. Okay, so I am starting to see some of these Swiss chard popping through on the heat mats. You can see this right here. That is part of the stem punching through that soil medium. I'm not seeing too much on the second heat mat tray. And then onto our non-heat mat, I am seeing, looks like 1 radical. So that looks like a root. So probably a plant that's upside down is shooting its root out up the top, but no actual stems coming out of this one. So not a whole lot today. I think tomorrow we're going to see some huge changes here though. So I'm going to go ahead and get these watered, and I'm going to put up back on the shelf, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, so we're on day 3 of this Swiss chard germination test. Let's get these trays pulled out the top and see how everything is growing. So remember that the pink trays are our heat mat trays, and the green trays are our non-heat mat. So I'm seeing some huge differences here. So if you want to step over here and let's take a peek, see at all of these. So I am getting a lot of germination on these pink trays. These are the heat mat trays, to the point where we are starting to get a bit of a shelf of the coco coir that's from all these seedlings germinating and pushing up this cocoa medium on top of them. And so what I'm going to do today is just kind of break this up a little bit, kind of agitate this, that way the Swiss chard can come through it nicely and it doesn't end up kind of getting stuck in there. But you can see how tall that these are getting. And onto the other tray, these are the non-heat mat tray. As you can see, the growth is really good on them still. We do have some germination, but it is quite behind compared to the heat mat. These are what we would expect in this space using this kind of temperature. This is the results that we've seen in the past growing Swiss chard, where it does take quite a bit longer to get these to come up out of the cocoa. So seeing this direct correlation between these two and the germination happening almost twice as fast, I think that we have proven that adding heat to this process does in fact assist the germination. So we're going to be testing a lot more crops in the near future, so please stay tuned for those. Let us know in the comment section below what crops you guys would like to see next, and we'll hopefully get those going for you guys soon. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give us a thumbs down. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the section below, and we'd love to get those answered for you as soon as we possibly can. Our Instagram and our Facebook are both at On The Grow Farms, and we have a website now with growing guides, information about our grow space, frequently asked questions, and all kinds of good information. That is www.onthegrow.net. Thanks so much. Have a great day and keep on growing.